Epler's out, Stearns is in, Buck is out, everything's in a mishmash. Now the Mets are looking for a GM and a manager, or will David Stearns just do the job himself? All that and more on this edition of Mets Musings. Hello and welcome to another edition of Mets Musings. I'm Gary Mack, and I hope you all had a great week out there. Well, the soap opera that is turning into the New York Mets continues as 3 days after they named David Stearns as their president of baseball operations. Billy Eppler put in his resignation as general manager. Now, he was set to be the number two guy behind David Stearns in the baseball operations, but we have since found out that he resigned amid an investigation by Major League Baseball into improper use of the injured list over the past season. An anonymous source tipped off the MLB via letter to allege IL abuses. A source also said that MLB plans to interview multiple Mets employees as part of the probe. Whether the Mets could face any kind of penalty was not immediately clear. I think the penalty's been done. The guy has quit his job, and looking back, who could have not been injured that they put on the injured list? I don't know. They'll probably investigate players that were put on the injured list and find out whether or not it was real or not. But when MLB informed the Mets of the investigation, Eppler decided to resign rather than potentially become a distraction to the new David Stearns administration. So Epler's out. Buck is out. Stern is in, and a story you didn't want to have. It's that simple. What else could have gone wrong for this team in 2023? It's that old saying, whatever can go wrong will go wrong. And, now we add the general manager search to whatever else is on David Stearns' plate. His manager search. Now he's looking for a general manager, or is he? He could wait on that. He could just handle the duties now, or there are still two assistant general managers there. He could, give them some of the work, and he takes care of the most important stuff, the negotiations, or part of the negotiations, the final decision making, and let the assistant general manager handle the basic negotiations and the everyday running of the office. But it's just something with these Mets. They just can't get a break. They just can't get it rolling and keep going with it. And, of course, there are a number of people out there that would like to be a general manager. And Chaim Bloom got fired by the Red Sox, and his name has been mentioned. Matt Clintock, who's the general manager, or was the general manager of the Philadelphia Phillies. Let's see, there's other guys suggested. James Click, who is with the Toronto Blue Jays, and a number of others, as well as people lining up to become to interview for the Mets manager's job as well. And Among them is Joe Madden, who is telling friends he'd love to manage the Mets and is hoping to at least interview for the opening. He's 69. He was fired by the Angels in June of 2022 after 2+ seasons as manager. Don't know if it would work out because of, he's pretty strong-minded, and so is David Stearns, and they want a cooperation between the two, and we don't know if that would work out. It might be a poor fit, but Joe Madden is a name that's out there. Craig Counsell, of course, who worked with David Stearns in Milwaukee. We discussed that last week. He's out there. Carlos Beltran, who was Mets manager for, a week? A few years ago. And then when the Houston Astros scandal broke, he kind of got let go. He did. He got let go. And maybe now things have blown over with that. Maybe it's time to bring Carlos Beltran back. Now, the only knock against Beltran is he has no managerial experience of any kind. But he's been working in front offices. He's been working as an assistant special assistant to the Mets organization this year. So he's in the organization, so why not utilize his talent? I think he would be an excellent choice as he would be knowledgeable in the game. He's very smart in the baseball sense. He would be a terrific role model to the Latin players, and there's a number of young guys. Don't forget Mauricio Alvarez, that would look up to him and would listen to him. Not that they don't listen to anybody, but I mean, it's a notch above with Carlos Beltran. So he may be a good choice for Mets manager. Of course, Craig Counsell, as we said, worked with David Stearns, and we went over a lot of things last week about him. There are others that are still involved in the playoffs. The Houston Astros bench coach that has interviewed before, and I'm sure we'll interview again. Ron Washington's name has come up, and now that Atlanta got eliminated by the Phillies again, he may be interested. So we're going to have to see how this all is going to shake out as we go through the off season. But as I said, something else on David Stearns' plate now to think about, and that is hiring a general manager. All right. Let's take a break, and we've got some other Mets news, injury updates, and things like contract updates, and we'll come back, discuss that briefly, and talk about the playoffs a little bit as they stand now. So we'll do that all after this.
Baseball and BBQ, your place for interesting baseball talk, opinions, and history.
Baseball and BBQ, your place for barbecue recipes, tips, and interviews from the world of barbecue. If you like baseball and if you like barbecue, then tune in to Baseball and BBQ. Find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and BaseballTalkRadio.com.
Did you know that Baseball PhD can be heard on BaseballTalkRadio.com?
Our shows rotate with other top baseball podcasts.
Now don't forget, that's BaseballTalkRadio.com.
With us, we'll help you get a PhD in life through baseball.
With BaseballTalkRadio.com, you'll hear the rest of the excellent universe of baseball podcasts.
Hello, baseball fans. You're listening to Baseball Talk Radio, the home of great baseball talk shows. At BaseballTalkRadio.com, you're going to find great shows like this one with the great Gary Mack and the MetsMusings podcast. And now back to the show.
And we're back, and there is some news on the injury front. The Mets announced that shortstop Francisco Lindor underwent surgery on Tuesday to remove a bone spur from his right elbow. According to the team, Lindor is expected to be fully ready for spring training. He played in 160 games this past season. He hit .254, 31 homers, 98 RBI, and had 108 runs scored. He also stole 31 bases, becoming the first Met to have a 30-30 season since David Wright in 2007. Now, there are also a number of players on a 40-man roster who are not under contract and who have fewer than 6 years of major league service and must be tendered a contract each offseason by the non-tender deadline. This includes players who are due raises via arbitration, and the Mets have 16 such players. Who is going to get a contract and who's not? Well, some of the players you know are going to get it. Pete Alonso, Daniel Vogelbach, DJ Stewart, David Peterson, Drew Smith, Joey Lucchesi, Trevor Gott, Elisar Hernandez, Luis Guillorme, Tim LeCastro, Danny Mendick, Rafael Ortega, Jeff Brigham, John Curtis, Sam Coonrod, and Michael Perez. Aside mostly from, of course, Alonso, Peterson, probably Lucchesi, maybe even Stewart and Drew Smith. Do the others, are they going to get offered contracts? I don't know. John Curtis might, and Coonrod, I could see them because Coonrod was pretty good at it, a bullpen. He was decent. Curtis, of course, another bullpen piece, so they may offer him. Trevor Gott was another one that they traded for. They could offer him an arbitration and a contract. I don't know about Elisar Hernandez. Luis Guillorme is one that I would like to see offered a contract. I'm a big Luis Guillorme fan, but the Mets do have a glut now of middle infielders and guys that can play different positions. Maurizio can move to third, short, or second. McNeil can play second, third, and the outfield. Vientos, can play third and first. Do they carry a Luis Guillorme, who is a wizard with the glove and has shown he can hit in the major leagues as well? So, do they carry him or do they let him go? It's a question that they're going to have to answer, and we'll have to wait and see what that comes about. But those are the players that are eligible, and again, Alonso, Peterson, Lucchesi are definitely going to get it because they need two of the starting pitchers, and they're not going to lose Alonso yet. And the idea would be to extend Alonso and to get him signed up, or go to arbitration with him, pay him when he gets this year, take your chances in free agent at the end of next year, or trade him at the trading deadline, or they can do both. They could trade him at the trading deadline and still sign him as a free agent after the season. So lots of manipulations and things that have to be worked out by David Stearns now that he's in charge. So lots of things going on. Just wanted to talk briefly on the playoffs, which have gone very quickly. Texas has not lost a game, and they have rushed right away to the league championship series, and they will play the Houston Astros. So it's a American League West finals there for the league championship series. in the National League, those amazing Phillies, they've done it again. They knocked off the Braves, and an even more amazing Arizona Diamondbacks knocked off the LA Dodgers. So the team with the two best records in baseball, or close to it, both eliminated by wild card teams. And Philadelphia is amazing. They did this last year, got all the way to the World Series, failed against the Astros in the World Series, but still made it. And here they are, a step away from repeating that this year. and on paper, you would think that they should be able to, and the way they play, they should be able to defeat the Diamondbacks. But the Diamondbacks have just been outstanding in the playoffs as well as the Phillies. So it's going to be an interesting series. In the American League, Texas and Houston fought it out and went down to the last day, and it was a win and a loss, and which gave Houston the title, or otherwise Texas would have been the American League West winner. They got the top wild card spot, have gone, just eliminated the competition, and Houston's played well again in the playoffs, and Minnesota gave them a little bit of a battle, but they've beaten Tampa Bay and Baltimore. Both have been eliminated. So all the division winners are eliminated. We have four wild card teams in the league championship. I'm sorry, three wild card teams and one division winner. That's right, Houston won that division. But be that as it may, they could have been the wild card, could have flipped, but three wild card teams and one division winner in the playoffs, and it just seems that Houston's there every year lately. The last I don't know how many years. They've been on quite a run, Houston. So should be an interesting league championship series. Texas versus Houston, and Philly versus the Diamondbacks. And you got to give the Phillies credit. You just have to. They've just been amazing the past 2 years, 2 seasons in the playoffs, especially. They're a different team. Everything seems to click better in the playoffs. So, and that's the idea of the wild card. The wild card is set up for you to get to the playoffs. Once you get into those playoffs, anything can happen. Everybody's equal, and you got to wonder, though, Atlanta is won how many games this season, dominated everybody, and they get to the playoffs for the second year in a row and go down to the Philadelphia Phillies. So either they are not a good matchup with the Phillies, or they're built to win a division, but not built for short series. You would think, though, they were so dominant that they would just dominate in a short series. But the Phillies had their hitting shoes on and took care of them. So that's what we got, and that's what we're left with. No Mets there, but maybe next year. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this week's show. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that if you're watching this on YouTube, that you'll hit the subscribe and the like button. That keeps everybody informed, and it will keep you informed of when a new episode of Mets Musings has been downloaded or uploaded to the internet. And if you're listening to the audio version of the podcast, well, it's available, or if you want to listen to the audio version, it's available in every podcast app that you have. So just go type in Mets Musings and it'll be there. And again, subscribe, and you'll always know when a new edition is coming out. And check out our Facebook page. You'll know there too. we put it up on the Facebook page when a new episode comes out. So lots of ways to contact us and talk to us. Drop us an email as well, or call our Hotmail hotline. It'll be in below in the description. And give us a call if you got a question or comment or anything at all. So, until the next time, keep the faith, stay optimistic, and let's go Mets. And I'm Gary Mack, and I'll see you next time on another edition of Mets Musings.